right, so graduates, I think I am the final speaker, standing in the way of your ability to walk up on this stage and get your degree. All right? No pressure. We're just going to spend a couple hours here today, so get comfortable. Look, before you come up here, I think there's one question that I have for you, and I'm going to ask for a call back here. And the question is this: graduates, are you ready? All right, graduates, are you ready? There we go. Parents and family, are you ready? Yeah, they're ready for you to get a job, by the way. That's exactly what that was. Get out of the house. Look, I think you're ready too. I know you are ready. And before we get into that, first of all, thank you. Thank you, Dean Coleman. Thank you, College of Liberal Arts faculty, Senator Klobuchar, Honorable Regent Swigum, alumni, family and friends, and of course, you, the bright and the beautiful class of 2018. Now, I realize I'm not quite a household name. I get it. Bummer for me. I'll give you a few facts on me that'll be helpful. Number one, for the record, I work for Pandora, the music company, not Pandora, the jewelry company. Do not have a career in bracelet making, but I grew up in a small town, two small towns in Wisconsin, one Oregon, Wisconsin. Oh, hey. And Hudson, Wisconsin. Oh, hey. But there's something that we all have in common here, right? We chose very wisely to go to college at this place, the spirit that is the golden and the maroon, the great University of Minnesota. Now, since day one, I have loved it here. My beginnings here, I think my very first set foot was in Middlebrook Hall on the 7th floor, the smelly guys floor. I was an RA at Sanford Hall. I may have nursed a few hangovers at Al's breakfast. I sky you mod. You rowed your boat. That wasn't there when I was there. I've lived large, and I certainly hope that you did too. But regrettably, I never made it to my own graduation. Yep, the truth is I seriously cannot remember why something so important to me and my family never happened. And for decades, my mother has actually questioned if I have graduated at all. Seriously, that's confidence for you, right? So, look, today is extra special because my mom is in the audience to finally see her son on this stage. In full regalia, because I just love that word, right? With my side pony here. Total proof that I have graduated. So happy Mother's Day to you, Mom. And by the way, I know we've said Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day also to every memory of a mom that couldn't be here today. Graduates, take this day in, you did it. Some of you are joining a legacy of graduates in your family. Nearly a quarter of you, this is a first generation moment. That's big. This is staggering. There are 31 countries represented here today. And I also would like to give a big shout out and thank you to our veterans who are also graduating today. Now, while I am honored to be here and very humbled, I have to confess something. This speech, I don't know why, but it terrorized me, right? This was a soul-crushing experience. I was struggling really because I think it's a challenge to consider what advice to offer you. We are all very different, walking very different paths in our life. But for what it's worth, I will offer some perspective that I wish I had at your age and that I think is relevant in this age. Specifically, some thoughts on purpose in work, meaning in your life, and connection for a better tomorrow. So let's talk about purpose and work. I agree very much with what Dean Coleman said. There is very good news for you to feel very confident about. The workforce is changing, and it is trending towards the very capabilities that you have earned and that you have developed here. The future is tipping to the right-brainers, the creators, the meaning makers, the empathizers. As Daniel Pink says, the big picture capabilities of our new, more conceptual age. No matter what your profession, these liberal arts capabilities, they're actually the componentry of character, empathy, self-awareness, synthesis, problem solving, imagination, and teamwork. These are the skills that employers value. I should know I'm an employer. This is what differentiates you in your career. So you should have confidence in your education. It is absolutely in alignment with the future. Now, the pressure of getting a job is one thing, but often I hear from folks your age about this sheer panic that you must hurry. You must hurry up to find your purpose. As if Oprah is going to come down and come get you because you've got to find your purpose. And I hear you, but know this, you are not in a purpose crisis. Really, if you do not know who you are in the world of work today, congratulations, you are right on schedule. Today you are celebrating what you have earned, the opportunity to explore meaning in work. So give yourself permission to do just that, and honestly, give yourself permission to do it potentially for years. I remember after graduation, I was a total mess. I felt like I was supposed to know exactly what my purpose was. And frankly, I hadn't a clue. But at that time, I did receive very good advice, which was to just go in the direction of exploring my interests. And I'm telling you, that is all you need to do. Go towards work that energizes you more than depletes you. It is that easy. If things energize you, excellence will follow. Oh, thank you. Look, for me at your age, I actually knew what that meant. I knew what interests me, what lit me up. And you're going to think I'm a little bit of a geek here, but my interest came directly from my student leadership experience and my degree program at the U. I was obsessed with leadership, how leaders lead, how followers follow, how teams and organizations achieve, and how they fail. And so I simply pointed myself in those directions. The university gave me my very first professional job in student affairs. Soon after that, I muscled my way into roles in human resources at the St. Paul companies, and then off to Microsoft and to Amazon when they just sold books. I'm that old. And quickly over time came a career trajectory that lifted right off the page into other functions, from sales to service to operations at Microsoft to bigger operations at Yahoo, from US jobs to global jobs, and every job was a complete leap of faith. Totally new risks, had some big failures, had some rewards. Some success was luck or hard work, and some of it was privilege. I just had a willingness to step into the unknown, into areas that I like, and I went for that ride. Even though I didn't know where the path would lead, I said yes anyway. And today, I'm stunned. I somehow get to be an executive at a leading music streaming company, or as my friends like to call it, an executive of mixtapes. It's more for the parents, I think. You know, part of living your purpose actually isn't about your work itself. It's the organizations and the visions that you align yourself to. The reason I went to work for Pandora is it is a very purpose-driven company. We understand music is universal, it is transcendent, and we are obsessed with the perfect listening experience for every one of our users. But we also believe in the power of music makers and creators, and we work hard to give them a platform to reach and be discovered by massive audiences. So put away your Spotify. Thank you. The point is this: purpose lives in our soul. That's where it is, and it is activated through the experiences that energize us. Have the confidence to explore and grab what interests you. Meaningful work will follow, and it will pull you towards your purpose. Now, I once knew a healer who in the end could not heal himself. And he wasn't rewarded with a soft old age. Unfortunately, he died tragically and at his own hands. He brought great comfort to many, but the noisy part in his soul meant that he would end his life too soon. And he lived in great service to others, as a Marine to his country, as a pastor to his community, devoted to his family, and he was my dad. Now, ever since I received that painful phone call 17 years ago, came the shift for me in how I see living. And it is this: our time is limited. Be intentional to fill up every day with more meaning in our lives. And the poets understand this. Certainly my favorite, Mary Oliver, understands this. She has a line from a poem, A Summer Day, that says, "Tell me, what is it you intend to do with your one wild and precious life?" That's it. Kind of simple. But Ms. Oliver is challenging us to create our meaning, and she knows, as I know, it is a lot harder than it looks. I probably underutilized nearly a quarter of my life's potential, lost to needless worry and needless distraction and negativity. Sadly, this is a wisdom that doesn't come to us until we start developing age spots, but, better late than never. And unfortunately today for you, there is more noise and more negativity than ever before, and it pulls us away from what matters most in our lives. Some of it was mentioned earlier, those constant multi-moment distractions that busy our minds, the messages that instigate fear or bubble up reasons for us to feel inadequate. We are a tweet away from a shame spiral, right? We're tricked into somehow managing our self-image over developing our self-awareness. Anger is somehow now news. Truth is in question. Our political tribalism is growing, and that is deeply dangerous. And we seek to be right way more than we seek to understand. So every generation has challenges, but I think yours will include this need to manage your noise. Manage the distractions, the negativity that bombard you, that you consume, that you internalize, or that you may even perpetuate. These are the noises that steal meaning from us every day. And I get it, we are busy. But this is our challenge, right? Can we make more space in our life for our joys, areas where we hum, where we radiate? Can we better prioritize what we value most? Can we drop down deeper into our hearts and live more in the present and in the quiet in-between of our lives? I have my dad's moments stored vividly in my heart, watching him stand endlessly on a frozen deer hunting stand, or fishing on a glassy lake, his big belly laugh, that adventurous yet soft spirit. And I have my own simple, basic moments. My fiance Josh and I sitting in our rocking chairs at our country home, watching our dog thunder off past the rock walls and into the far-off fields. I could be there for hours. By the way, I realize I just made Josh and I sound 93 years old. And so gays don't talk about their rocking chairs very often, so welcome to our life. You know, it's not lost on me that my favorite hum, where no noise is allowed, centers around family and nature. And so what are your moments? And truly, are you prepared to explore them and visit them more often than today? So let's do this. Limit the static and give yourself more of your own meaningful stories and learn to find them everywhere. I'm going to close with just a few thoughts on connection because I think this is so important in our world today. I believe you have an incredible opportunity to advance yourself and others by leading with more compassion. You might not have heard of Humberto Maturana. He is a Chilean biologist, and he is around today. It's pretty brilliant. Amongst his body of work, he concludes love is not cultural, but rather it is biological. Love is the one emotion that expands intelligence. It is the conservation of our human beingness. It is our ultimate ground and our source of recovery. I mean, this is biology. This is not your woo-woo and unicorns love stuff, right? We are biologically wired for connection. And yet I think we can all agree pretty much everywhere that in fact we are disconnecting. And the love I'm talking about here is the affection that fuels our compassion. It's that ability for us to feel with others on the other side of issues. Feel with others that are outside of our comfort zones. Now, if a love speech is turning me into a hippie with flowers in my hair, just ask bajillionaire and CEO of Alibaba, Jack Ma, about love. Jack, an English major, by the way, has recently been talking about LQ. You know, there's IQ and EQ. Well, now there's love quotient. It's an enterprise concept that as we globalize, we must humanize. Humans with virtue, with souls and not machines, must power Earth's progress and our greatest solutions. Our souls are not data. Our humanity is not computational. Love, our connection to one another, that is our key to existence. And we are in need of a love recovery. You know, recently someone pulled me aside and they asked me what my greatest contribution was in my career. And I suppose I should have made up a bunch of results that I had in my past, but what came out of my mouth was empathy. Empathy. Remember, leadership is influence. Decisions, ideas, collaborative approaches, they don't happen if you can't move people forward. They don't happen if you don't win hearts. They don't happen if you can't understand their concerns. Connection and empathy are just plain old good business. So slim down the root of what impedes our progress at the very task level everywhere. Studies show that nearly 80% of the time, and I'm talking families, business, anything, 80% of the time it is because of a breakdown in relationships, humans disconnecting and increasingly dehumanizing one another. And there is that noise again, that negativity. Now, there is good news. There is hope. I believe that your generation can help us find our way back to one another and build a more generative society. So here's purpose for you. Commit to influencing in life with more empathy. Everywhere that you can, it will not fail you. And why you? Your entire time here at the University of Minnesota has been about these ideals. Enter the right brain, human virtues, the love quotient, the liberal arts capabilities. If not you, then who? Graduates of 2018, we need you to be the leaders who build relationships and bridge divides, who can help us to spend judgment long enough, who use creativity, and your empathy to crack open those moments where everyone is heard, where historic wounds can be healed, new stories are told, where truth is restored, where a respect is formed, and new solutions are forged together. You guys are going to do amazing things in your future, I have no doubt. And there are plenty of wide open spaces for your wild and your precious life to step forward. We need you to lead us with purpose in all of the places in need of a better tomorrow. And like you said, you are ready, so that's good. May you seek and find your wild life, well lived and well loved. Thank you.